We are natives of Madagascar here to present our solution of data collection to help achieve inclusive education in our country. Off the southeast coast of the African continent and amidst the Indian Ocean lies Madagascar, one of the world's largest islands. It is well known to the outside world for its unique biodiversity and its breathtakingly beautiful sceneries, making it an ideal travel destination. Despite its wealth of natural resources, however, Madagascar is one of the world's poorest countries. In particular, there are significant disparities in educational access, and a majority of children with disabilities remain excluded from the educational system. According to the UNICEF MICS report on Madagascar in 2019, 14% of children aged 5 to 17 have functional difficulties. Despite the Malagasy government's existing legal frameworks, however, on inclusive education, it is currently impossible to measure and assess the implementation and efficacy of such laws in schools due to insufficient data on disability and education. Moreover, apart from rare studies which seem to be limited by their small sample size, their focus, or their approach to the definition of disability, disaggregated disabilities data on children in a school setting have not yet been collected to our knowledge. Thus, the main problem we want to address is that there is not enough reliable and comprehensive data on children with disabilities and their education in Madagascar. This scarcity of data is a problem because 1. It prevents accurate assessments of the efficacy of the current legal frameworks and thus 2. Impedes the making of appropriate policies that promote inclusive education. As a result, inclusive education has remained an elusive dream for many children with disabilities. To begin addressing this problem, we propose a solution which is to collect reliable and comprehensive data on children with disabilities and their educational status in a pilot city in Madagascar. This will help fill the current data gap and will gradually build the foundation for data-driven policies on inclusive education. Our solution best aligns with SDG number 4, target number 4.5, which aims to eliminate educational disparities and ensure equal access to all levels of education for everyone. As a roadmap for our project, we developed the following theory of change. We start by identifying the main goal of our project, which is to have disaggregated data that will be publicly available and ready to use for inclusive education policymaking. Here we note that the improvement in educational outcomes in children with disabilities will depend on the actions of policymakers. Next, we identify the steps that need to be done to reach our main goal. Instead of reinventing the wheel, we plan to use the modules on child functioning by the Washington Group on Disability Statistics and UNICEF in school settings. We chose to work with these modules because they are tailored to identifying barriers and personal limitation to school participation for children. They have been tested in several countries, extensively reviewed by experts, making their outcome in internationally comparable data, are practical, and have the potential to improve the Malagasy education management information system. Our first activity will be to train all of our founding 6 members on the techniques of conducting surveys, namely on the use of existing modules previously presented. This will result in successful training and readiness of all 6 members to conduct data collection using the modules. Next is to plan and design the survey to be used in one specific city in Madagascar. This step includes translating the modules in Malagasy and using Survey CTO or a similar platform, which will result in a ready-to-use questionnaire survey for data collection. Next is the running phase, which will include recruiting and training field staff before proceeding to launch. All 3 outputs will lead to outcome number 1, the collected raw data, which leads to the second outcome, where we will get complete and accurate disaggregated data on children with disabilities. The successful completion of all steps will lead to the initial main goal of our project. We have mapped a realistic timeline to carry out our theory of change, where we estimate the project to take 2 years. The first 3 to 6 months will be for planning. In the 6th to 12th month, we expect to finish designing and to start running the survey to be used in Madagascar. Between the 9th to 18th month, we expect to finish data cleaning and quality control. The last 6 months will be devoted to data analysis and final report. For the sake of clarity, we are using here a diagram, but we'll be using a Gantt chart for our actual implementation. To implement our solution, we need human and financial resources. We plan to have an executive steering committee, which will be our founding team of 6 members. Additionally, we plan to recruit a research associate, a field manager, possibly an associate field manager, senior field officers, surveyors, auditors, and backcheckers, and trackers. Moreover, our team planned a detailed cost estimate following the template from the Abdul Latif Jamil Poverty Action Lab, which we then condensed into the succinct table shown here. Potential risks and challenges can be encountered at the following steps during our project. First is whether or not we will be able to secure enough funding to carry it out. The second consideration is the recruitment of honest and competent field staff who will be key in carrying out the project. Another challenge to consider is regarding ensuring the safety of the field staff, of the equipment used, and of the data collected. Lastly, there is a risk of people not wanting to participate. Finally, we aim for our solution to be sustainable in the long run. First, we would ensure programmatic sustainability by sensitizing the community about the benefits of our project and by showing local government officials the importance of regularly updating the data. Second, we aim to attain institutional and organizational sustainability through the development of new partnerships with research centers working on data-driven policies and by turning our team into a nonprofit organization. In the same vein, our team will also seek opportunities to participate in international meetings and work groups related to disability data collection. Third, financial sustainability is contingent upon the possibility of scaling up the project all over the country, which will allow us to check for external validity of our research. We would like to conclude by talking about the benefits of our solution to the society with regards to SDG number 4. First, our solution itself is a way to represent and include children with disabilities in Madagascar who have long faced discrimination and exclusion. Second, we will provide vital statistics that will inform policymakers on the current status of inclusive education in Madagascar and allow the monitoring and evaluation of relevant policies. Thus, an indirect but significant potential benefit of our solution will be the design of good policies with improved planning and budgeting. Our team is called PAPITANTELY, which are Malagasy words for honeycomb and spiderweb. In Madagascar, honeycomb symbolizes community life and spiderweb represents family ties. Together, both of these make up important aspects of the Malagasy culture. Similar to how bees build their honeycomb and how spiders weave their webs step by step, we believe that our solution is one of the necessary steps to take as a way to achieve inclusive education.